Today I fucked up and learned why the coffee tasted a little off. This happened 12 years ago. I was in the process of moving to the city and my mom gave me a sort of apartment starter kit, old pots, pans, utensils, plates, etc. including an old Tim Hortons coffee maker, which had been stored in the shed for a couple years. Not being a dummy, I cleaned out that coffee maker as best I could, then ran a few straight pots of water, vinegar through it. It ran a bit slow but I wasn't too worried. Good coffee takes time, or so I thought. My first cup of coffee tasted a bit strange. I quickly attributed that to any lingering vinegar. Fast forward a week or so later and the taste of the coffee hadn't improved, plus the speed of the brew was noticeably slowing. So I decided to take it apart and give it a more thorough cleaning. I'm fairly mechanically inclined, so I was able to break it down with little effort. Feeling proud of myself, I accessed the water reservoir and emptied it. What came out was a sort of dark grainy sludge. At first I was annoyed, wondering how did coffee grounds get into the water reservoir. As I stared at the sludge, my annoyance slowly turned into revulsion and horror. Yes, while stored out in the shed, mice had made my mom's Tim Hortons coffee maker their home. And I had been brewing and drinking mouse turd coffee. Too long didn't read, I unknowingly drank mouse turd flavored coffee for over a week. Goddamn, I gagged and had my whole stomach turn as I read this while drinking coffee, and I have a strong stomach. So sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. From cup of Joe to cup of no. After a major storm and no electric for a couple of weeks, we decided to make some pasta. Boiled it, served it with jarred Alfredo sauce, and my daughter mentioned the bug-looking things. I assured her it was peppercorn. Then, I saw the legs. Seems that weevils like pasta, too. Had an issue with weevils years ago. All my pasta gets stored in sealed plastic containers now. Not gonna take a chance on that happening ever again. The secret spice was hantavirus. Reasons why I'm not worried about what's in the vaccine. Today I fucked up. I got my boss for Secret Santa. He told me, not knowing I was his Secret Santa, that this was his first ever gift exchange. I felt like I had to make it count. We all had to fill out a paper saying what color you like, what's your favorite thing, etc. So I got his paper. He likes a specific candy, a specific beer, and whatnot. He's had literally the same mask this whole pandemic. So I wanted to get him a new one. In my Etsy order, I got him, my husband, and myself new masks. All are black. My husband has a large. My boss and I got the same size medium. I have bought the mask that I'm getting for my boss for both my husband and I multiple times. I think this mask is super comfortable. As far as masks go, I decided I wanted a different mask. A cute feminine mask that's different, but from the same company. It's a lacy black mask. Same shape, same everything. The company that made the mask folded the lacy part on the inside. Honestly, with USPS going the way it is, it took longer than expected to get to my house. I even told my boss on the 26th that I'm his Secret Santa and to not worry because it'll come in soon. I didn't want him to think he was forgotten on his first gift exchange. Anyway, I got him his favorite chocolate and his favorite beer and his mask. Turns out, I gave him my lacy mask. And I guess kudos to him, he wore it for a couple days. He showed it to me, and others, on a video conference. I literally couldn't see the lace on it, so I was like, oh, this is great. He likes the gift I got him. Well, luckily one of the other managers saw the lacy part and told him you don't really pull off that look. He said this I think a couple days before my boss switched back to his old mask. Anyway, he told me today that his mask looks like underwear and the other manager was constantly telling him this. Needless to say, I immediately went home. How on earth could I work the rest of the day knowing my boss thinks I got him a lacy mask? And got the other mask and swapped it out. I have a winter mask I've been wearing, so I haven't worn the new one yet. He likes the new one. Too long didn't read, I got my boss a lacy black mask for Christmas and he wore it because he's nice and because I got it for him. Lol, he seems like a good sport though. I am glad this is a Reddit post about people actually wearing masks. I think masks are great ways to show personality. For one, you're wearing a mask. 2, what kind is it? I have a winter mask that is blue with snowflakes. I like it. It's not better than breathing straight air, but it's fine for what we have to do. I've seen some pretty cool masks. This was an unusually wholesome today I fucked up. Everyone looks good in lace. Today I fucked up by accidentally training my puppy to be a drug sniffer dog. Obligatory not today, this happened 4 years ago. During my second last year of high school, our family got a new dog, Poodle X Labrador. It was during the end of year break and my whole family was working full time, so I had the whole house to myself all day. I'm not a regular smoker and haven't smoked weed in at least 6 months, but at this point I was smoking every day for pretty much the whole holidays. I had a routine where I would wake up, make myself some breakfast, and then go outside for a joint. The dog at this point was about 6 to 8 months old, coincidentally the perfect time to start training, and was very playful and energetic. To counteract this, when I went outside with my weed, I would take a handful of treats and feed them to her so she wouldn't annoy me while I was trying to roll. I had already taught her to sit before I gave her each treat. However, during this period of wake bake repeat, she would come out with me and sniff around the bag with my weed, rolling papers and other paraphernalia in it, which at this point stunk because I'd used it for months. In between doing this, and me telling her to sit and then feeding her a reward, retrospectively it's pretty easy to see what was going to happen. Anyway, after maybe 2 weeks or so of this routine, I had finished smoking one day and was back up in my room, and the bag full of goodies was lying on my floor. Cue the puppy walking in, proceeding to nudge and sniff around the bag, and then sitting right in front of it staring straight at me. At this point I was pretty high, so it didn't hit me immediately, but the second it did I could not stop laughing for 10 minutes straight. I was sure I was imagining things as I was high, so a couple hours later, when it had all worn off, I tried it several times more with near identical results. Nothing ever came of it, even though it happened several times more, but I can't say I wasn't terrified for months that my dog was going to snitch me out to my parents by finding my stash. Too long didn't read, I fed my dog treats while sniffing weed, and now she's a narc. You scratch my back, belly, I scratch yours, winking face. Meanwhile, your dad has wondered for years why the dog sniffs around his stash and then sits expectantly. Now, if you're out and your dealer's nowhere to be seen, you can go around town with your doggo and she'll find the nearest stoner/dealer for you. You can also go on treasure hunts to raid some stoner's cash. Just don't get shot, lol. Doggo age, young drug addict. Second last is a very common phrase in Britain, and in Ireland where I'm from. I presume it possibly is the same in Australia. I don't think he was being rude by asking if the guy was fucking around. I think he just thought the guy was messing because it's so commonly said where he is from. Also, it reads correctly as there was no comma before last, which would mean what the original questioner read it as, a second last. Yeah, okay, thanks. I was sitting here wondering if I was the only one who thought second last is a common phrase. Although I think maybe hyphenating it could be the proper grammar.